The door swings open, and the room dips half a tone. A laugh stalls, a glass pauses midair, and you feel every inch of the pause land on your shoulders. Your mind sprints to fill the silence. They were talking about you. They've decided. You have been weighed and found wanting. The heart hears rumors that no one spoke, and the body believes them as if stamped and notarized. Take one breath. Often, what we call secret hate is just misaligned incentives dressed as mystery. Projects compete, calendars collide. Someone protects the inch of turf, and the timing makes it look personal. The quiet is a signal. The story you hang on it is optional. Let Machiavelli stand beside us, not as a priest of cruelty, but as a lens. People move for interest, image, and insecurity. They protect advantage, curate appearances, and mask their shakier corners. None of this makes them monsters. It simply makes them human in crowded rooms. If the dip in conversation rattles you, that means your antenna works. You are not broken. You are sensitive to signals. Sensitivity can be a compass once it is paired with clarity. Tonight, we'll slow the scene and tour the machinery beneath the gossip. I'll name 7 common sources of perceived hate: scarcity theater, prestige hunger, mirror pain, coalition math, borrowed grudge, boundary backlash, and misread boredom. We'll learn the neutralizers for each, then tuck a field manual into your pocket so choices stop tasting like panic. We'll keep the pace soft, the breathing deep. You'll learn how to ask cleaner questions, draw gentler lines, and listen for interest instead of insult. By the end, the room may still dip, but your pulse won't. For now, hold the first breath, and let's see what the silence is trying to buy from you. Morning began with a hallway and a greeting that fell like a dull coin. She passed, eyes tired, voice flat, and my stomach did the old somersault. What did I mess up? What rumor found her? Which sentence of mine wandered where it shouldn't? I replayed yesterday's meeting, imagined edits to jokes. At lunch, I learned she'd spent the night in urgent care with a sick kid. The coin was not about me at all. It was just heavy. That is the mirror effect. We carry our self-critique like a pocket mirror, and when we meet a blank face, we see our own worry reflected back. Their quiet becomes our verdict. Their hurry becomes our fault. The mind hates gaps and fills them with confessions we never made. Not your fault, truly. Machiavelli would advise rulers to verify, not guess. Appearances deceive. Interests hide. Fatigue looks like contempt until proven otherwise. A calm leader walks past the first story and checks the floorboards. Use quick diagnostics before panic spends your day. Pattern. Is this behavior consistent, or did it arrive with the weather? Proof. What evidence, beyond your feelings, supports the darker reading? Cost. What happens if you wait a day and gather more signal? If the answers point to coincidence, let the silence pass. If they stack toward concern, take a simple step. Ask, note, or clarify. And breathe. You are not required to read minds. You are allowed to let a flat hello be a flat hello. Curiosity can replace self-blame without turning cold. Try rough morning or all good, and accept just tired as an answer. When it is real, the frost usually traces lines of economics, not essence. Status to protect, seats to allocate, ladders to climb. That's a different map, and we'll unfold it next. Sometimes it happens in the simplest way. You answer a question clearly, the room nods, and you can feel another person's light dim a little. Not because you aimed at them, but because competence tightens the focus. You didn't steal the stage. You merely stood still while the spotlight drifted. Yet friction rises off pavement. This is scarcity theater. When seats are few, warmth cools into politics. Courtesies turn into currency. Presence has a price because attention and opportunity are counted like coins. Machiavelli would name the city beneath the conference room: factions, favors, and the fear of replacement. People protect their lanes. Patrons guard their ladders. No one wants to audition for their own job. Your competence can look like a storm on someone else's horizon. Learn the subtle tells. Faint praise that frames you as promising. Late invitations that arrive after the decisions congeal. Strategic silence where your name should be spoken. Smiles that widen while doors narrow. These are not crimes. They are signals of scarcity. Reframe the feeling gently. The more you matter, the more gravity distorts around you. Mass bends light. Contribution bends calendars. Resistance is not always a verdict on your worth. It is a tax on momentum. You can reduce drag without shrinking. Practice controlled visibility. Show work at the right cadence, in the right rooms, with the right allies. Let proof speak before presence, and let presence move in measured steps. Next, we'll map how to tune brightness without dimming your flame. Most rooms reward noise, but trust grows in the quiet between notes. Constant performance exhausts audiences. Rare, well-timed contribution feels like rain after heat. When you speak less and land cleanly, people breathe. The room remembers results instead of reels, and threat lowers without dimming your value. Run a simple credibility loop. Promise small. Deliver slightly more. Withdraw. Let your absence say, the work will not be carried on showmanship. Repeat until your name means outcome, not overture. Rhythm replaces pleading. Machiavelli would call this practical theater mystique protects and scarcity signals standards. A leader who appears only when something moves teaches others to prepare before asking. The fewer flourishes, the fewer targets. Make the moves boring and sharp. Shorter updates. One paragraph, one number, one next step. Cleaner wins. Pick problems that close. Fewer rooms. Present where decisions live, not where applause is loudest. Share drafts with 2 allies, not 10 spectators. Let your calendar look empty to strangers and steady to those who rely. Build an identity you can carry on tired days. I'm reliable and light on bandwidth. I show up ready, leave without drama, and answer in sentences that hold. Goodwill gathers like shade. Managers relax because you don't compete. Peers relax because you don't flood the channel. Doing less becomes a favor, and the favor returns as trust. Some dislike is not about brightness at all. It's about loyalty maps. Who you seem to serve when the wind shifts, and what that says to factions watching. You fix a problem for the product team on a rainy Tuesday. 2 emails, 1 call, 1 diagram that stops a leak. By Friday, you're theirs. Design stops CCing you. Ops assumes you're booked. A door that was open last week now closes softly with a smile. No one is angry. They're just drawing lines for safety, and your footprints point one way down the hall. Humans build loyalty maps fast. We read tiny signals. Who sits where? Who answers first? Whose slack thread you brighten? And we sort for us, or them, to feel safe. Once a story forms, every neutral move confirms it. A coffee becomes allegiance. A calendar slot becomes a treaty. Machiavelli would offer calmer counsel. Declare your North Star, not your enemies. Say what you serve so people can place you without fear. If your loyalty is to outcomes, users, truth in numbers, or the ship date, state it openly and often. It's harder to box a person who points to a horizon. Use neutral rituals that reduce rumors. Offer public credit that crosses borders. Share brief cross-team summaries so information doesn't look smuggled. Publish a transparent agenda before key meetings. Problem, proof, proposals. When you must decline an invite, name the standard, not the side. Lean on language that calms. Shared win, mutual proof, one standard. Trade they want for the plan needs. Invite skeptics with specifics. Tell me the failure cases. Praise constraints. They keep trust from swelling into turf. Even with clean loyalties, envy survives. Attention bends space. You can't remove every ripple, but you can travel light and leave fewer wakes. Keep your breath slow. Let pauses carry meaning more than volume. Next, we'll learn how to absorb envy without turning cold, how to keep your pulse steady while others measure shadows against your step. You share good news, an approval, a launch, a note of thanks, and the air tilts a degree. Smiles arrive, but a few carry a shadowed edge. A message goes unread longer. A joke lands heavier. You didn't mean to threaten anyone. You simply turned a light, and other lights felt smaller. The room warms like summer before a storm. Not wrong, just charged. Think of envy as weather. Heat passing through town, not a permanent judgment. Let it pass. Ignore it, and you'll dehydrate. Fight it, and you'll sweat twice. Better to pace and move in shade. Your news is not a crime. Your quiet ambition is not an indictment. It is air moving from high to low pressure. Machiavelli noted that injuries are forgiven sooner than benefits. A bruise heals. A reminder of lack lingers. Your win tingles old nerves in others. This doesn't make them villains. It makes them human, counting their oxygen. Practice gentle tactics that cool the day. Distribute credit with names and verbs. Spotlight contributors in rooms they can't enter alone. Share playbooks so success looks repeatable, not hoarded. Humility isn't secrecy. It's letting the ladder stay down after you climb. Hold boundaries while you're kind. Refuse humiliation theater, the ritual where you minimize yourself to buy warmth. Don't audition for acceptance. Let documents speak. Outcomes, numbers, before and after. Praise publicly, correct privately, and keep your inbox from becoming a confessional for every change. If the heat lingers, lower visibility for a week and keep delivering. Shade helps gardens root. Meet a skeptic. Ask for failure cases. Leave with a note to try. Remember, some hate is a tax for being needed. Price it. Don't chase it. And ask the better question. What does the need want you to carry next? And what can you hand back without guilt? You say yes to everything because it feels kinder than sorting. A fix here, an intro there, a weekend tilted toward another clock. People smile, projects move, and yet a chill gathers around your name. They like the service and resent the person. You became the hallway, and hallways don't get chairs. This is the helper's paradox. Rescue creates dependence, and dependence breeds blame. When the machine stalls, gratitude fades, and fingers search for button labeled you. The more you catch, the more they throw, until competence feels like consent you never gave. The calmer rule is older than slogans. Make others less dependent on you, more dependent on results. Shift the gravity from your back to the standard. If it ships Tuesday, either way, the calendar becomes boss, not your willingness to bleed. Build moves that keep you generous and free. Offer templates over toil so help travels without you. Hold office hours instead of random pings. Let urgency cue and cool. Put scope in writing. Owner, outcome, deadline, failure case. When the story drifts, the document returns all to shore. Charge requests a small toll of clarity. What survives is worthy of your time. Upgrade identity. I teach systems. I don't become them. I'm a builder of repeatable paths, not a backpack for others' weeks. Kindness that scales beats devotion that dissolves you. Some friction will remain, the tax of being needed. Pay it with boundaries and receipts, not with evenings and apologies. Rotate who has access. Share the map. Then step aside so others learn the road. Respect grows where room does. With access clarified and rescue tamed, another challenge waits. A loud minority will throw shadows. Not every shadow is weather. Next, we'll read which signals mean threat and which are just the echo of your footsteps. Start with signals you can name. Repeated misquoting that rounds your edges into arrogance. Credit that slides off your work like rain off glass and pools under someone else's feet. Coalition whispers. Indirect pings. Sudden lunches. Meetings about meetings. One note is weather. A motif deserves a chart. Use Machiavellian triage before fear spends your day. Capacity. Can this person actually block budgets, access, or trust? Proximity. Are they in your chain of decisions or just near a corridor? Legitimacy. Will their words carry in daylight? Or do they fade when the room asks for proof? Hostility without these three is noise. With two or more, it's a project. Choose countermoves that avoid escalation theater. Surface facts, not feelings. Here's the document, timestamps, and owners. Widen the audience a single ring. Include the skeptic's boss, the partner who depends on the outcome, the historian who keeps receipts. Invite written clarity. Summarize the concern and desired resolution by Friday. There is safety in daylight. Send summaries after meetings, decisions with next steps, and timelines with mirror dates. If inputs arrive Tuesday, delivery is Thursday. Put agreements where silence can't edit them. Quiet accuracy is a shield that doesn't need volume. Practice emotional hygiene while you defend. Never bleed in the arena. Save the venting for a trusted room. Regain breath before you reply. Short sentences travel better than spikes. Thank the useful criticism and ignore the theater. Keep posture. Let documents talk. When the room calms, shift from defense to depth. Build reputation that outlasts moods. Steady outcomes. Fair credit, and rare, well-timed appearances. The weather will turn again. Armor that breathes will matter more than banners. We will make it practical and pleasantly boring to repeat. Next, we'll stack habits that make your name heavier than rumor and lighter than noise. Think of your week as a quiet wheel that turns by design. Start with one visible win, a deliverable that closes a loop and can be seen without a speech. Add 2 quiet investments, a system improved and a relationship watered. End with 1 gratitude round, 3 short notes that credit effort, document outcomes, and leave doors warmer than you found them. Keep a few scripts in your pocket so decisions don't wobble. Soft no. I can't take this on. Conditional yes. Yes. After A and B are complete. Credit forward intro. You should meet Layla. This model is hers. I'm only implementing. Short, specific, generous. Run on proof, not noise. Keep a scorecard of outcomes rather than opinions. Shipped features, resolved tickets, decisions unlocked, risks retired. Update it weekly. Share a 1-paragraph summary where stakeholders actually read. If the week was rough, write the lesson learned and the next test. Receipts beat reels. Practice alliance hygiene with a cadence that compounds. Mentors get a monthly update and one clear ask. Peers exchange drafts on Wednesdays and praise each other in rooms they can't enter. Protégés meet bi-weekly for guardrails and chances to try, not rescue. The stack stays balanced when you rotate help and keep ledgers light. Done consistently, this flywheel turns goodwill into momentum. You become easy to trust and hard to rattle. Your name implies outcome before you arrive. Less talking, steadier gravity. Keep the rhythm written by your desk. 1 visible win. 2 quiet investments. 1 gratitude round. When the room feels cold, touch the paper and move 1 spoke. After that, rest. I'll leave you with a small story to keep by your bed. The one about a door, a lantern, and the warmth that stays even after the voices fade. It will find you in dark corridors. The corridor is long and full of doors. Brass numbers wink in the dim, and footsteps from other lives pass like weather behind the panels. You carry a small lantern and walk slowly. The flame is steady, its circle modest, and it shows the next 3 paces without asking for applause. Your shoulder brushes a door that closes. Another opens on a laugh and a question. You nod to both and keep the same pace. Some doors close firmly. Some swing wide as if they were waiting for you. The lantern does not flare for one or dim for the other. You don't hurry to earn the open, and you don't plead with the shut. What belongs will meet you at your walking speed. What doesn't will fall behind without argument. You turn a corner, and the corridor empties into a quiet room. You set the lantern down. Breathe until your spine remembers its length, and speak once. The floor evens out. A few faces relax. The room isn't warmer because you performed. It's warmer because you kept your pace and honored your words. This is the credo for hard days. Less performance, clearer promises, warmer alliances. Show up ready, leave without theater, and attach your name to work that can stand without your hands. Praise specifically, decline softly, and keep your ledger short. Before you sleep, remember why you carry light at all. Not to be adored, but to be steady. The corridor will fill and empty as it pleases. Your job is to keep the circle round and the handle in your hand. Tonight, rest like someone who knows their step. When morning returns, lift the lantern the same way and walk until the next good door opens of its own accord. Let silence finish the room gently.